Hey there, Wall Street winners. It is Thursday, October the 3rd, and as we look at the Bloomberg app and the futures, we've got a fair bit going on this morning. You've got all three U.S. indices in the red, but only slightly. I think these are going to turn around throughout the day today, but they are pre-market, 45 minutes-ish to the market open. They are in the red. What we can see from the news headlines today, if we go to the front of the Bloomberg app, is the tensions in the Middle East are building up. And I think a big win for the Democrats going into the election would be if they can do anything to de-escalate what's going on in the Middle East with Israel and the different forces that they're now involved with across multiple countries. If they can do that, and Biden and Harris can actually get them to come to a ceasefire resolution and renegotiate or start negotiations again, that would be a huge win to offset the rhetoric from Trump around how he can just within a day put all wars at ease and stop them all, which is complete horse crap. But I mean, that's what people want to believe, then they can believe that. Let's turn to the markets. What this turmoil is doing is it is causing crude to jump this morning. So we can see from the crude oil prices, it's up $1.39, almost $71.50 a barrel, likely to go higher if these tensions continue and the bombings continue. If we look through health and retail, Costco's down a little bit pre-market, still hasn't recovered and stayed above where it was at close pre-earnings. It did pop up the other day, well above where it closed, but then it came down throughout the remainder of the day. Dollar General had an off day yesterday, down almost 3%. Walmart down as well yesterday, about 85 cents. You've got Home Depot, which was up yesterday, but down in the pre-market. Nike got hit hard with earnings, as I talked about earlier this week, and it is off slightly. I think it should start to recover now. 83 is a pretty good value point, I think, for Nike to get in on that stock. I do believe that by the end of this year, especially with the new CEO, even though 90 days isn't going to be enough to really turn the company around, I think by March or April of next year, it's going to be $100, $105 stock, definitely a $95 stock. So you've got about a $10 or $12 upside, in my opinion, on that if you're willing to hold that. And that's a good return for half a year. I mean, if you double it, it's 20 or 24%. Looking at oil, for the most part, the oil refineries are mostly in the green. I think these are going to really pop today. So I think that if you were to get in early on this and continue to watch crude, if crude does not dive, which it has a tendency to do, but if it continues to move upwards, I think we're going to see a positive uptick across the board on your oil stocks here. So I would be following those closely today. Tech is down right now, mostly in the red here with a few exceptions. I love Micron under $100. I think this is a safe bet. I mean, that was up to 110, 112 after earnings. It's going to get past there again towards the next earnings release and as other tech companies start to release numbers. CRM, Salesforce, had an amazing day yesterday. Now, as it peaked up at the 281 range yesterday, I got out of CRM, waiting for it to pull back a little bit today and then get back into that. I am a believer in Salesforce and CRM, but I do think it may have peaked yesterday. I could be completely wrong on that, but when you have a good day and it jumps fairly sizably, then oftentimes you get a bit of a pullback. So that's what I'm waiting on there. If we scroll down further, you can see Microsoft lost ground further yesterday, down from the 420s into the 417 range. Looks like it's making a small recovery today. ARM yesterday was up about $1. It's down about $1 in the pre-market, so it's kind of around the same level. You have Qualcomm, which was up $2.50 yesterday, down $1 in the pre-market, and then Lam Research up 16 yesterday. So still a good price at $8.14 in my opinion. Obviously, if you can get in the 700s, even better. But this is going to be a $1,000 stock within the next 3 months. So that's going to be a nice 20% uplift in 3 months if you follow that. Meta, I think, might have peaked. I said the other day that it could get to 600. I'm not sure. I think maybe at earnings, it could get up to 600. I think pre-earnings, it's It's going to pull back a little bit. And we're going to see some sector rotation for money into financials initially. We're seeing the Chinese stock, BABA, pull back in the pre-market. It did this yesterday as well. It was down in the pre-market, but then it jumped $2.50 or more throughout the day. And it was positive. I think there's still a lot of momentum pushing these Chinese stocks up. So I do believe BABA is going to be green today. So if you can get it minus 460 right now, it's going to be a steal. I think you're going to have a good win on that on the upside. The other thing to consider with BABA is a call option into March or June of next year. I bought some call options a couple months ago into June of 2025 at a pretty good price point. I bought them at $95, and those are in the money now and doing quite well. And I would consider adding to that position because I do believe that this stock is only going to go up at this point. And I do believe they're going to have some good earnings coming out this quarter and the following quarter. Then we've got NVIDIA, had a good day yesterday. It looks like it's on track to have another good day today, get back in the 120s. Google yesterday had an off day, so it pulled back a little bit. Not to its session lows, but it did drop $1.11. It's down $1.08 today. I bought some Google yesterday on the dip and was in the money at the close, but will probably be out of the money depending on how it opens here. If it opens down $1. That said, I think it's going to get up into the 180s by the end of October. So within less than a month, I think this is going to be $180, $185 stock. So I am definitely holding my position I bought yesterday until it goes green, which I believe could happen today. And if it doesn't, then it should happen next week. And then I'll sell it on a peak and buy it back on a dip. That's my strategy with Google. I think it's a solid investment, even if you have to hold it, but I am going to trade it on the ups and downs. And TSM as well had a good day. Not back to the 185, 186 range, but it's going to get there. So you're likely to make 5% in the next month on TSM if you were to buy in at the 175 range today and then hold that to 186, even maybe up to 190 and get a little more than 5%. Then we scroll down to financials, and I think this is where some of the sector rotation is happening. We saw yesterday minor increase in JP Morgan at 207. I think it's a good price. I think it's a value price at 207. I think it has room to move on earnings to 230, 220 for sure, but maybe 230. You've got Morgan Stanley as well. So it's in the higher part of the range. I think you're going to get to 106, 108 on earnings with Morgan Stanley. So maybe less of a bump there. And then Goldman. Goldman was down in the 480s again yesterday, 488, 489. I bought some Goldman yesterday. It did well. I think it's in for another good day today. And this is a stock that can move $5 to $20 in a day. So it has the ability to definitely make some moves. And I think it's going to definitely be a $520, $25 stock on earnings in just a couple of weeks. So that's where we are today on Thursday, October 3rd. Good luck with your trades. And if you're liking these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like and a comment. I hope you're enjoying the content. And if there's anything I can do to improve it, just let me know.